and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Cheryl Rodenfels with Stratascale, and we're partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT, CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Don Vu, Chief Data Officer at Northwestern Mutual. Welcome, Don.
Hey, Cheryl. Good to be here.
We're going to jump right in, and I think people will learn about you as you give your answers, because you're going to tell us about your experience, and you're going to help us out today with a lot of the questions that your peers have in how you're approaching analytics, advanced analytics, and really things that are pressing. And you've been very successful with it. So let's go ahead. There are so many articles, references, discussions about advanced analytics and using AI, machine learning, and deep data. What are the top problems that you've solved for your organization, and how did you do it?
Awesome. Thanks for opening up with such a great question, and thanks for having me here today. So maybe just to start off, a quick bit of background on me. So I joined Northwestern Mutual about 2 years ago as Chief Data Officer, and prior to being at Northwestern Mutual, I was leading data at WeWork for about 18 months. And then I was at Major League Baseball Advanced Media for 13 years. And I give some of that background because what I've found, having been in multiple massive industries, whether it's media and sports or real estate or now insurance and wealth management, is the problems in data aren't always the same, but they tend to rhyme. And much of what we're tackling here and trying to leverage data and AI for are the same challenges that have other industries have faced as well, and I've had to deal with firsthand. But there are some very specific NM-specific use cases that we've leaned into. So altogether, if I had to highlight some of the wins that we've had across our AI portfolio, I'd start with AI-driven underwriting first and foremost, and we'll dig into each of these a little bit more in detail later on. But start off with AI-driven underwriting. This notion of next best action as a way by which we help guide our financial advisors, our tens of thousands of financial advisors, in the way by which they can interact with our clients in the way that resonates the most. The third use case I describe is customer lifetime value. So leverage predicted customer lifetime value explicitly to try to help guide our omni-channel interactions with our clients. The next one might be leads matching, so lead scoring. So as our financial advisors try to understand who they should be speaking to, let's say today as an example, just really understanding from a lead scoring perspective who those individuals might be. And then as new leads come in, who are the financial advisors that are best suited to actually service those leads' needs. And then the last one is around financial planning simulations. So one of the interesting things about Northwestern Mutual is we sell, we're the leader in the US for selling life insurance, but we also do wealth management. And so one of our unique value propositions is how do these risk products and our investment products in conjunction holistically provide financial safety for our clients. So we have financial planning simulations within our proprietary planning software using Monte Carlo simulations, et cetera, that provide different levels of confidence for a variety of different permutations of financial plans. So that's another really interesting use case that we've tackled as well. So a bit of a mouthful to answer your first question, but hopefully it gives you a little bit of an idea of the challenges that we've been tackling with AI.
What's fantastic about all of this is it sounds like they're really practical things that are helping the business and helping the customers. Were a lot of these things done manually before or through very unautomated ways?
Yeah, no, I think you've really hit the nail on the head. And that's really the main area by which AI can really facilitate improvements in operations and really drive incremental value. So certainly underwriting, as an example, is decades old. We're actually demonstrably best in the industry at doing it with our industry-leading mortality. And the aspiration to actually exceed human performance in something that you're already an industry leader is a huge challenge. But automation and just automating out the gunk was a big part of the challenge. So that has been much of our focus in the near term. And so we've done that quite a bit already in the short term with underwriting. And in other cases, a lot of it was really based not just on manual work, but also some level of gut. So when you think about, facilitating salespeople to be more effective using data, that oftentimes philosophically is not necessarily the way folks have approached it in the past. And so there's a fair amount of like change management and bringing people along as part of the process. I would say that's one of kind of the key factors in success is really bringing your business partners along in the process as you do automate.
Well, especially they're the guys you're working for, right?
Yeah.
So when did your organization know they needed advanced analytics or a better way to use data? We talked a little bit about some of these automation things. Is that why they hired you, or is it, were they dabbling in it before you got there?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I think like a lot of enterprises, NM, being no exception, like they've had advanced analytics, predictive analytics, data science initiatives underway for quite some time. I think one area and one reason I was brought in 2 years ago that they wanted to improve on was just a more strategic framing as to how each of these individual, sometimes episodic efforts all kind of stitch together and are complementary to each other. Some notion of like a network effect sort of situation where everything's kind of building on itself and things are complementary. So when I speak to the notion of like next best action or customer lifetime value, there's actually ways in which each of these predictive models all kind of work together and build on themselves and just lead to better holistic results. So yeah, like many folks, we've had a lot of initiatives in place, but just wanted a bit more strategic framing and something that you actually led off with earlier, Cheryl, just really a closer connection to our business strategy as a whole. So I think we've achieved that.
It sounds like it, and really all of these things. I worked in financial services for quite a while, and watching some of these things, especially, if you think about underwriting and all the amount of work and people and actuaries and things that go into it, it was all mathematical and scientific to begin with. Just imagine what's happened with all the different variables you have now. Don, thank you for joining me today. And everyone, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.
Thanks so much, Cheryl. Thanks for having me.